22 years. That's how long Arsenal fans have waited for this. 22 years of watching other clubs lift that prestigious trophy. 22 years of near misses, of heartbreak, of rebuilding, of being told our time had passed, that Arsenal are nothing more than a banter football club. 22 years of faith that never quite died, no matter how hard some seasons tried to kill it. And today Arsenal Football Club stand 180 minutes away from ending all of that heartache. This is not a football preview. This is a date with destiny. Welcome to the Gooners Voice. Reese Jacobs here, and I'm glad you're here for this one. So let me take you back. 2004, the Invincibles, Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Dennis Bergkamp, Robert Pires, and the man on the touchline, Arsene Wenger. He's standing on the touchline looking like a man who had figured out football in a way nobody else had. Okay, that Arsenal team didn't just win the league, they went the entire season unbeaten. 38 games, not a single loss. It's never been done in English football since, and I genuinely believe it will never be done again. Yeah, it's one of those records that are unattainable. Problem is, that was our last title. And in the years that followed, honestly, it's been a journey, Gunners. We've moved to the Emirates and spent years and years in financial restraint under Arsene Wenger. We watched the likes of Chelsea, Manchester City, Liverpool, Man United, hell, even Leicester have glory that we only dreamt of. And we had the seasons of the fourth place trophy. Remember that? Every season, fourth place felt like a trophy. We lost key players, key captains, Thomas Vermaelen, Cesc Fabregas, Robin van Persie. And we had managers come in that were not the fit for Arsenal. Unai. We even had fans turning on each other, to be fair. But here's the thing about Arsenal supporters, and I say this with complete pride. We never stopped believing. Even in the darkest moments, even when the Tottenham fans were laughing at us because they had Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, those darkest moments, we couldn't compete in the transfer market. Man, the love for this club never went away, and that's testament to Arsenal fans. Because I'll ask you a serious question. What's the percentage of Man United fans that are posing as Man City fans? Honestly speaking, can anyone answer that question? But let's go to one man in particular. Mikel Arteta. He's come under scrutiny. He's being crucified for the way his team has played. But this man, he came in and he rebuilt something. Not just the football team. He rebuilt the identity of this club, the belief, the culture, the swagger. And now here we are, 2 wins away, 2 performances away from making history. So let's talk about the season. How did Arsenal get there? I think that's really important because it deserves to be recognized properly with all these weird pundits and rivals talking about how poor Arsenal's football has been, and there'll be an asterisk next to their name if they win the league. This Arsenal squad has been relentless. Week in, week out, they've shown up. They've ground out results when they weren't their best, and let's be honest, that's been the majority of the season. And they've bounced back from setbacks. Think about the setbacks. League Cup final against Man City. League game against Man City. Lost to Bournemouth. They've come back from that. They've handled the pressure of this title race. Remember when Declan Rice said, everyone thought it would have been a generational meme where he said, it's not over. And it wasn't over. By God, it was not over. We had Erling Haaland with his smug face smiling at the end of the game. And look now. They've handled the pressure of this title race. Something most of these players have never experienced before. They've been in a title race, but it's never been down to the wire like this. So this maturity has honestly surprised me. And I need to mention key moments in the season. The losses I just mentioned now, but the way the teams bounced back. I thought that Fulham performance was a real turning point in Arsenal's season. I thought that Atletico game at the Emirates might have not been the spectacle the Bayern Munich and PSG game was, but that had the Emirates on their feet, people believing. And a couple of away wins as well that I thought Arsenal showed real character. Think about Newcastle away. What a game that was, winning it, nicking it in the dying moments. Big Gabby, rising above everyone. And there were moments where it felt like the wheels had come off, let's be honest. And this team just held firm. So Arteta has built something special here. The pressing system, the structure, the togetherness. Okay. And you see it every single week. We don't have the superstars other teams have, but what we do have is a unit. This team is a unit. They're willing to die for each other. 11 players who trust each other completely. And the supporters have played their part too. The Emirates this season has definitely been different. I've never seen the Emirates like it. You can feel it. Okay. And the fans believe again. That's testament to Arteta. It's testament to this team. And the belief feeds into these players. So it creates a cycle of energy that genuinely, any team coming to the Emirates, it's hard for that opposition. You think about Atletico, drowned in the Emirates atmosphere. They just got punished, pummeled over by this Arsenal team. Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, Aston Villa. If you come to the Emirates and try to play football, you will be beat. And that is why those powder blue idiots came to the Emirates and parked the bus. Yeah, 22% ball possession. So today is the reward for an entire season. Entire season of hard work from the players, from the staff, from the fan, every single gunner out there, who showed up home in a way. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about today. Let's talk about the opposition, Arsenal taking on Burnley. And I don't want us going into this thinking the game's already won before ball's kicked. It's not like that. Because yes, Burnley are relegated. Yes, Burnley have been poor. Yes, their season is over in terms of what they have to fight for. But that's why they can be dangerous. We saw that against Wolves when they came to the Emirates. A team with no pressure, a team with no fear, nothing to lose, they can be unpredictable. That is a dangerous team. And we've seen it happen in football. We've seen the relegated side who comes to the title challenges or the would-be champions, and they ruin the party. So that cannot happen today. I believe it will not happen today. And let's talk about Burnley because, yeah, it's going to be a tricky one. I fully believe they will just come out there to frustrate Arsenal. They don't care about winning. They just want to frustrate. They want to be party poopers, and rightly so. They have the right to be. So they'll be compact. They'll be disciplined. They look to hit Arsenal on the counter, like every team at the Emirates, and they'll set up to frustrate us. Okay, they want to kill the rhythm. They'll time waste. They'll try and make chaos. But our job is simple. And we always hear Arteta in the place say we can only focus on ourselves. Our job is simple. Be patient. Don't force it. Keep the ball moving. No horseshoe patterns across, the opposition box. Keep the ball moving. Find the spaces. And when the chances come, take those chances. Yeah? Please, Arsenal. That's all we want today. We want moving football, not stationary football. So technically, I expect Arsenal to line up exactly the same like they did against Newcastle, barring Ben White, terrible injury for him. Just when he looks like he's coming good, like the Benny Blanco we know, looks like he's going to miss the World Cup as well. I honestly hope it's not his last game in an Arsenal shirt because what a servant he's been. I really like Ben White. I think he's still got a lot to offer to this Arsenal squad. So yeah, I think Arsenal will press really high for the first 20 minutes. I think they'll try and kill the game in the first 20 minutes. And the wide areas is where I expect us to hurt Burnley. I expect Bukayo Saka to be in full form. I expect Leandro Trossard to start on the left-hand side because he was immense against West Ham. I think if David Raya doesn't make that save in the 78th minute, Trossard is just the player of the match, hands down. But because how important that save is against David Raya, and I say it's a save, but it's more a miss, let's be honest, from Matthias Fernandes. He should be scoring. I think that's poor, the way he's controlled the ball. He's taken an extra touch instead of going on the far post. He's tried to do something clever and beat Raya at his near post. So yeah, he still has to make the save though. So kudos to David Raya. Midfield I think will be the same. Miles Lewis-Skelly and Declan Rice. I think they should control that midfield. Whether it's Eze they starts in there or Odegaard. I thoroughly expect Odegaard to start because we'll speak about Odegaard a bit later. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but yeah. And then up front, regardless of who starts, Gyökeres, Havertz, hell, Gabriel Jesus. All I want is an early goal, please. I want that Emirates rocking before halftime like we saw against Fulham. Yeah, give them confidence, give them energy, give back to the fans. It's the last home game of the season. And an early goal settles nerves. It silences the anxiety in the crowd and puts Burnley on the back foot immediately. They have to change their game plan and they have to come out, and that's where Arsenal can pick them off quite easily. So yeah, I expect Arsenal to dominate possession early on. I expect them to create a numerous amount of chances at home, last home game of the season. And I thoroughly expect the attacking quality of the likes of Saka, Gyökeres, Trossard to prove way too much for Burnley. I don't think they can cope with Arsenal for 90 minutes. They don't have the legs, to be honest. Three players I want to spotlight for tonight's game. Bukayo Saka, our star boy, our homegrown hero. This is his occasion. This is the occasion Saka always rises up to. You think about the Champions League nights at the Emirates. You think about important games for England in tournaments, Euros, World Cups, whatever it may be. Today is made for him. It's tailor made for someone like Saka. So I want to see Saka really taking the game by the scruff of the neck. I want him to be the captain on the field. He might not be wearing the armband if Odegaard starts, but I want him to be the star boy. And then secondly, Martin Odegaard. I think he'll start over Eze. I think Eze was really poor against West Ham. I don't think Eze did anything particularly well. And the class Odegaard showed to come on and control that game, to control the midfield, the way he was pressing people, the timing, I think it's very underrated the quality Odegaard has, and we haven't seen it that much this season. Let's be honest, he's had a poor season on his standards. In his standards, the thing that Odegaard does, something that Özil does, they make things look so effortless. They look like they have so much time, and just going back to that West Ham goal, Odegaard's in the box. Everyone was really panicking in the box. You could see West Ham were all over the place, and Odegaard just took the time, to look up, to take an extra touch, to give the perfect weighted pass in such a chaotic moment for Trossard to then go and, easily stroke that ball home. So yeah, I think Odegaard is going to be immense today. I would hope he's immense today because he's the captain. Captains step up in games like these. And the third player I want to highlight for today is the Emirates crowd. It's not actually a player, but they are the 12th man. And I think they will be up for it like that Atletico game. I think they will meet the team when the bus comes in. And I'm counting on the fans as a key player today because they will be. The noise inside that stadium, I think, from kickoff is going to be unlike anything we've heard this season. It's the last home game of the season. It could be the game we win the title. Arsenal might win the title without kicking a ball. I would love for it to go that way. Yeah, I would love for City to bottle it, and Arsenal don't even have to go and play Palace, and they've already won the title. It would be amazing. What a send-off for Bernardo Silva, in my opinion. Absolutely shocking. So yeah. The last thing I want to do, guys, I just want to take a moment here to speak to every Arsenal fan because I know what today means to you. I know what the last 22 years of being an Arsenal supporter was like. And, we had the near misses under Wenger. Remember the Leicester season? We had the capitulations under Wenger. We had the thrashings under Wenger, the Chelsea 6-0s, the 8-2s against Man United, the 6-3s against Man City, the 5-0s against Liverpool's. A transition period that felt like it just went on for forever. So, yeah, I've been there with you. And every time a rival fan told us Arsenal were finished, we were banter club. Today, that loyalty could pay off. Yeah, all of that patience, all of that love for this football club, it has a chance to be rewarded today. So whether you're at the Emirates today, whether you're watching from your living room, whether you're at the pub with a couple of mates, or maybe you're watching from the other side of the world at God knows what time, you were part of this. This is the moment that belongs to every single one of us. Don't let the celebration police come and bang on your parade. This is what football is for. So hold on to it, enjoy it, celebrate it, because like I said, this is what football is made of. So yeah, prediction time. I expect Arsenal to smash Burnley. I'm going for, I'll go 5-0. I think Arsenal will smash Burnley last home game of the season. I think they'll be up for it. So I'm going to go for 5-0. I think they'll have their eye on that goal difference as well because Crystal Palace played a good game. I'm not sure if you guys caught the Brentford Palace game yesterday, but yeah, Palace played particularly well against, very good Brentford team. Let's be honest, it's not easy to go to Brentford and play. We saw Arsenal struggle, and Palace played really well. So yeah, do not take that game lightly, that last game of the season. So just go out there and smash Burnley. I generally can't wait. I think the Emirates will be bouncing. After the match, I will be back with a full reaction video, a match breakdown. And whatever happens, I'll be here. Let's break it down together. But today, Gunners, today we go into this with nothing but belief. 22 years 2 games to go. Let's go and get it. So up the Arsenal. If you're new here, please subscribe. We'd love to add you to this community. And you do not want to miss the reaction video coming up a bit later tonight. So leave a like if you're buzzing, like I am. And I'll see you on the other side. So come on, you Gunners. Let's make history. Peace.